Hello gorgeous, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a bit of beading. I'm going to be teaching us 3 beading patterns that will help us achieve designs similar to what you have right here on your screen. I'm going to be teaching us the dangling beading pattern that will give you this fringe detailing on outfits. I'm also going to be teaching us the curved dangling beading pattern, and just in case you're confused, I'm going to take away the confusion by showing you step by step how to achieve something similar to this beading detailing that you have right here on your screen. Finally, I'm going to be showing us as well how to do the running kind of beading pattern. I just gave these beading patterns names, but we're going to see how they work and how you can incorporate them into your designs in today's video. If after watching this video you thoroughly enjoyed everything that I shared in the video, please be sure to hit the like button. That button helps me know that you guys enjoyed watching, and it also encourages me to bring you more useful tutorials. Also, please be sure to share this video with your friends and family, people that you think would love content like this. Finally, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, now is going to be a good time to hit the subscribe button, because it's popping on here on this channel, and I can assure you that you're going to learn a lot and grow a lot from just being a part of this gorgeous family that I'm growing on here on YouTube. All right guys, let's get straight into today's video. Let's go. To start off this video, you need a piece of fabric or whatever fabric that it is that you're working on, all right? And then you want to draw 2 straight lines, okay? And this is to give us the overlapping beading pattern. And we're going to see how that works. So basically, we're going to be using beads to join these 2 lines together. I'm also going to be using my beading needle. The size of beading needle that I'm using is the size 11 beading needle, and I'm using my regular polyester thread that's going to match the color of the bead that I'm working with. I just used my needle to pick up about 5 pieces of beads, and that is what is going to be enough to join these 2 lines together. If you have a wider line, please place your beads in between those lines and determine how many beads you need to connect the 2 lines together. And you want to pass the needle just the way I did on the screen. If you didn't get that part, please do well to rewind the video, or you keep watching and watch me do this a couple more times so you get the gist. I always recommend that people get their tools together, their beads, their fabric, their needles together, so as you're watching the video you're also doing right, so it helps the knowledge that I'm trying to pass across to you stick. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. All right, so I'm going to do this again a couple more times. I'm going to pick up the required number of beads, and I'm also going to pass my needle and thread through my fabric. I'm trying my best to pass the needle in such a way that it doesn't appear on the other side of the fabric. I got a question on my previous beading pattern video. If you're yet to see that video, it has almost 10,000 views now, so a lot of people enjoyed watching. But I got a question there, and someone was asking me if I typically pass my needle all the way to the other side of the fabric. It varies, right? So it depends on you and what you're trying to go for, but it's always recommended that you don't allow your needle and thread show on the inner part of whatever design you're making, especially when you're beading on clothes. It's neater when the lining of your fabric looks clear and you've done your beading only on the right side of the fabric. But for this beading pattern, I always recommend that you do it in such a way that the thread doesn't show on the other side of the fabric. And even if it does show, all right, make sure that you're using a matching color of thread, such that even when it shows on the wrong side of the fabric, it still looks neat. Because imagine if you're beading on a blue fabric and you're using white thread. If for any reason the thread shows on the inner part of the fabric, the person receiving the cloth is going to be seeing white thread on their blue fabric, and it's just it could just turn out to be an eyesore for the person. All right, so just take note of that. Anyway, I hope you guys have not lost me. All right, I hope I've not lost you guys. All right, keep watching, and if you get confused at any point, feel free to watch this portion of the video over and over again until you fully understand the process. So I'm going to keep quiet now, allow you guys watch what I'm doing, and then we're going to move on to the next beading pattern that I'm going to be teaching us in today's video. All right guys, I hope you guys understood everything that I shared. So now that I'm done up to this point in this video, because this video is just for tutorial purposes, right? It's not like I'm making anything for a client or for myself. So I'm just going to end my beading pattern here, and all I'm doing is I'm passing my needle all the way to the back, all right, in order to knot up the thread and end my stitch. All right, and watch the way I'm passing my needle and thread to end my stitch. You want to make sure that you knot up your thread so that your beadwork will not start loosening up after a while when your client or when you yourself, you know, wear whatever item it is that you beaded on. All right, guys, so now we're going to move on to the next design, and you need two different designs of beads, or you can decide to use just one design of bead. It all depends on you. For me, I'm working with my sand bead and my size 4 crystal bead, so I'm picking up about 6 or 7 pieces of sand bead, and I'm showing us here. I think I eventually picked up about 8. It all depends on you, honestly. There's no hard and fast rule to it. And for every 8 sand bead that I picked, I put 1 crystal bead. All right, you can decide to use sand bead all through. I just chose to do this because I just feel like it gives a different vibe to the design. You can even decide to use your pipe bead, your rice bead. You can use any type of bead for this particular style. It all depends on you, like I said, and what you're going for. So I'm going to keep picking up pieces of beads until I have something that is going to be dangling from one line to the other. You guys can see under my little black piece of fabric that I have 2 lines that are apart from each other that I'm trying to do this connecting chain pattern on. Okay, I think the best name for this design is the connecting chain pattern. All right, so you want your chain pattern to be dangling, and then once you've achieved the number of beads required for this portion, you just pass your needle and thread to the other side of your fabric. And what you want to make sure you don't do is you don't want to pull too tight on the thread so your dangling chain does not look too stiff. Okay, you want it to be loose and flowy. You guys remember the video that you saw at the beginning of today's tutorial? You see how the dangling chain pattern looks lazy and it's kind of flowy. Exactly, you want to achieve that same type of vibe when you create this design. So I'm just going to do this a couple more times for us to see, and then we're going to move on to the final design that I'm going to be sharing with us, which is the fringe design. You know those fringes that you buy from the market? You can actually create them by yourself, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to allow you guys watch how I continue making this connecting chain pattern before we get to that. If you've made it up to this point in this video and you're yet to be subscribed to the channel, please do well to subscribe to this channel. It's a growing family and we have a lot of fun on here, learning how to make cute little pieces of designs and accessories, and just sharing and teaching and growing each other. So please do well to subscribe if you're interested in any of the things that we typically do on here on the channel. Also, if you've been enjoying this video so far, please support me and let me know that you guys are enjoying by hitting the thumbs up button. That button helps me know that you guys enjoyed whatever video it is that I'm sharing with you guys. Another thing that I forgot to mention to us is the fact that you can decide to use cup chains to create this particular style of beading pattern, but this time instead of gluing on your cup chain, you guys know that I've shared videos where I told you that with cup chains it's faster to glue on. In this case, gluing your cup chain is not going to work. You're going to need to sew your cup chain. If you want to see me create something like this using cup chains, okay, this dangling beading pattern using cup chains, please let me know down in the comments and I'm going to film a video for us. But just in case you have a client request where they want you to use dangling cup chains to create this dangling beading pattern, please note that you need to sew on your cup chain to create this dangling beading pattern. And it's the same thing. You want your cup chain to dangle and look loose on whatever design it is that you're trying to create. But like I said, if you want a video, please let me know and I'll be very happy to share. Alright guys, so this is the last dangling connecting chain design that I'm going to be doing for us, and this is what it should typically look like when you do it on whatever piece of item that it is that you choose to incorporate this style of beading into. This is me just trying to knot up my thread. Always remember to knot up your thread after creating whatever beading pattern it is on your work, okay? Knotting up your beads will ensure that you don't lose the work that you've put into whatever design it is that you're creating. And for this dangling beading pattern, you can incorporate it into your dresses. You can even use it as sleeves, or you can use it to cover up the cleavage area of whatever design it is. There's so many ways that you can incorporate it into your design. So just feel free to come up with cute little recreations for yourself. All right, so it's time for us to create our fringe. And what you want are two different types of beads, or you can even decide to use the same type of bead all through. The choice is yours, okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm picking up just one tiny piece of sand bead. Can you guys see? And I've also knotted up the edge of my thread. And now I'm passing my needle through the knots that I created on my thread. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm just trying to pass my needle through, and once I was able to pass the needle through, I pulled all the way down, okay? And you see that my tiny sand bead is in between the needle and thread before I passed the needle through the knot. I know I'm saying a lot. Just in case you don't understand, rewind and just ignore my voice and look at what I'm doing. So now that I've passed my needle and thread through my knots without my bead, now it's time to start picking up the beads that I want to use to create my fringe. You can use any type of bead, but you want to start off your work with that method that I showed you. Knot up your thread, pick one single piece of bead with your knot and pass the needle through the knot and start to pick whatever type of bead it is that you're trying to use to create your fringe. You can do a combination of different types of beads to create your fringe. It's all your call, okay? Remember that the video at the intro of this particular tutorial was a combination of crystal bead, the regular size 6 crystal bead, and teardrop crystal bead. There's so many different ways that you can tweak your design and come up with gorgeous results. All right, so it's all your call. Also, for this fringe pattern, you don't want to pull too tight on your thread. You want to make sure that the thread is kind of loose so that your fringe is going to dangle freely and look absolutely beautiful. If you pull too tight on your thread, the end result, the fringe will be looking too stiff, like it's standing. It's not going to be jiggling and looking very flowy and nice, okay? So make sure that you are not pulling too hard on your thread. And you want to also knot up after each dangling fringe piece that you've done, and then start the same process again till you get a full fringe and everything looks flowy and beautiful. If you don't understand anything that I did, if you have questions for me, please feel free as usual to drop your questions in the comment section. Once I see them, I'm going to respond to you as soon as possible. But I suggest that you watch the video all the way through so you don't ask questions about things that I've already shared in the video. I'm going to repeat this process a couple more times for us to see again how I'm doing and then practice with our own work at home. Again, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do well to hit the thumbs up button, like this video. Also, if you know someone that is going to enjoy this type of content, please feel free to share with them by hitting on the share button and send it to your family WhatsApp group, your friends WhatsApp group, and just keep sharing all the knowledge that you're gaining on here on YouTube. Finally, if you're still not subscribed to this channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button. Join us. It's fun on here, and yeah guys, it will make me really happy. I'm going to keep quiet now, allow you guys watch all the way to the end. Thank you guys so much again for clicking on today's video, for watching all the way up until this point. I'm really grateful, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Bye bye.